why is it that people, U-turns cannot continue uh, with their education on the other side? Why is it that people must reincarnate in order to using the physical body in order to get these lessons, the real guidance, real education, which leads to real freedom? Why is it that in this disembodied state, people cannot just continue maybe from the astral level? Why must one reincarnate again in order to take this up? Would it not be easier just to continue from the astral plane? Why must one take on a physical body again in order to learn these lessons? I think there are many levels of life, and that is one. Why must one come back to this lowest level?
Charles is asking about the reincarnation idea and coming back to the physical. Again, these are choices, and many people, they want to come back. One part of them may say, well, I don't want to come back. But then again, they're making the choice mainly through their emotional attachments as an idea many times to come back. They don't even consciously recognize that. And yes, you don't have to come back. This is where you learn to make conscious, upfront, now decisions with your life right now, not just whims or wishes or I want this or wannabes. No, a definite. In other words, just like when you finished high school, you decided to go to college or not. That was a definite. It's not that, oh, I want to go to college or I'd like to go to college or, gee, I wish I could go to college and all these ideas. Okay, does that get you there? No. What gets you there is deciding to do it, walk through the door, do the application process, and go to college, you see? Again, the masses have been taught hope, belief, and faith, basic ideas. These are all maybes, okay? They're not definites, thinking that, oh, all I have to do is wish it and want it, and it'll come to be so. No, you actually have to do it. You really have to step up and do it. And, how many people have we all talked to that, oh, I would like this, and I would like to be like Rebus Artars or whatever, but will you go through the process to do it? And most people won't. They'll just like, oh, well, I'd like to, but I don't know if I can all of a sudden. And it's like, well, that's a lot and I don't understand. Well, again, it's like anything. It's like taking a course in school or college. Of course you don't understand. You don't understand how to be a doctor until you take the course, until you get through the course. And so this is what we're providing. And so this becomes exceptional. But you can do it from anywhere. But it's deciding to do it. And not sitting there as an idea thinking that, oh, gee, why do I have to return or should I return? You see, again, these are hems and haws within the individual. You decide what you're going to do. If you get up in the morning, go to work or take a trip or whatever you do, you're deciding every moment, and to consciously see this. And for the most part, most people are held by their unconscious nature when they go to the other side. See, they've had all these ideas and whims and wanting to go to heaven and a better place and all this. And, for the most part, people have relatives. We've all had relatives for ongoing lifetimes. And many of them precede us, or there's deaths or early deaths of children or family members. And so that emotional attachment also lodges there. And so it's like they want to be with their loved one. It's like an older couple. When one of them goes, usually within about 6 months to a year, the other part of the couple goes too, because they're lonely. They want to be with that person. So one person attaches themselves to another, and because they don't make conscious choices, they automatically, it's almost automatically, they've already projected their future without them consciously seeing it. And this is what brings them back. This is where you make conscious decisions. So just like the experience you explained, where the kids were walking along, two of them, and they fell into a hole. They made the conscious decision to ask. They could sit there and whine and cry and whimper. Is that going to do it? No, they've got to make a definite. They had to ask. So one of the real guides came along and helped them out, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's not that the boys are going to help you out of every situation, but you're learning to see that you are the decider of your life. The masses have been programmed and are constantly programmed that someone else will decide and do it for you. So all you have to do is just go through their systems, and everything will be okay. Their belief systems, their educational systems, their political systems, their scientific systems, whatever it is, it'll all be taken care of. But actually, it's not. It's the old God idea. Let God do it. Let God take care of it. No, you must make the decision. It's your life and your experience. And so as we're presenting this to the world, see, this is a step up from even what Paul presented. And that is that he did the elementary part with the membership, to where people just come in, they pay their dues, and it's like, oh, I'm a member. It's all taken care of. See, they take it for granted what's taking place. And it's not so. Again, that would be like saying that, oh, now I'm a member of the corporation. You know what? I don't even have to go to work. They'll send me my check every week. You can think that too. You can think whatever you want, but no, this is where you actually do it. So the new nowness of the isness is where, no, you have to recognize the true reality life is and step up and be a part of this to earn your way. So it's more than, we've come from the grade school, the elementary position, into a real position of making decisions and then stepping into it to make sure that those decisions are workable and beneficial for the individual and everyone else provided. This is where we all support each other. Again, the guides are an example. So yeah, it's that's the fine line. And even just to get that part, Charles, across to people, that you can say something like, well, you really make the decision. And especially to people that are more religious, they're going to say, well, I trust in God. I trust Jesus will help me out. Well, that's a nice sounding cliche, a cute story in all the Bible stories, but guess what? They ain't going to decide for you. You got to decide. It's your decision 100%. Yeah, they're there, but the thing is, they're not going to live your life. And this is the part that's hard for people to understand, that they are the deciders. Just like here, everybody here on this group decided to be here. Nobody drug them here. Nobody, did it for them. Each person decided to be here now. And this is how it is. You make that decision. And yes, many people will be surprised when they pass over to the other side. In other words, yes, it's like, yeah, there can be things there for you, etc. It just depends upon how you've earned your way. And it's kind of like this. Yeah, you start the college program. We're beyond high school here. Now you decide to go to college or university. Well, if you only attend a year or two or a few classes, you don't get to attend the graduation ceremony. So when you pass over to the other side, if you haven't earned your way, you might say, we'll just use that as an example. Well, what can be waiting for you? You see, it's the same thing. You being in the school, you can sit there and wait for the graduation ceremony, but you got to do the work, you might say. And again, this is where we earn our way now. We just don't hang around and listen to somebody on stage saying pretty words. We actually do something. We actually earn our way, just like we would at a job, to where we get compensated with the money that we earn. It's a compensation. And in the new nowness, it is to where you recognize what's going on. You take part with what's being presented here, because there's a real purpose going on. And those that step up and support this real purpose of what I've created for everybody, then you get to earn your way. You see, you're part of it. It's like being part of a business. You're not just standing out there looking at people doing it. You're stepping up and you're taking part. So this is the bigger picture. And again, you look at these experiences, Charles. Yes, I can understand your question, and that is that people can do whatever they want, but they have to figure it out. And so they're lucky that we're here, that you're here explaining this. But other than that, they're just going to go on with their lives as they always have. And when you try to share something or present something, it's how they take it or not. So very few, most people are satisfied with their life. They are self-satisfied. So they will continue in a self-satisfied position. And if we're going to go lower or higher, the lowest self-satisfied position is the physical. But at the same time, being in the physical sense, just like right now what we're doing, you can turn this around to where it's a total benefit and you can supersede everything. But again, that is a decision that the individual must make for themselves. Yes, the support, the guidance is there, but you know what? They must allow it, they must accept it, and they must do their part. So when you step up, and you decide to support what is a benefit for everybody, well, then life will support you. It's a give and take. It meets you halfway. So again, these people haven't decided, Charles. They're wannabes. They want this, they want that, they hope, they wish, they believe. Guess what? It don't work. They have to decide, they have to step up, they have to be the risk taker. This is how it is. And then they can shine like the sun once they understand what's going on. Go ahead.
Yeah, Duane, talking about, you just touched on belief and belief in God, and having faith in God. In fact, I seem to have frightened one of my colleagues out of her wits this evening. I went to visit her to collect something essential from her. And as the conversation rolled on, and I had to tell her what I believe in. I don't know how it came about. I just found myself talking about not really telling her about the new presentation, but giving her some new teaching, new guidance, and she was really scared. Saw how she was scared, and tried to cut my visit short because she realized that the talk what I was telling her was so strange. It must be coming from the devil. And she told me she didn't know that is the kind of person I am, and was so much afraid of me. And maybe the best place for us to continue talking was when she was outside where they could see people, because the vibratory level of the talk was such that anything could happen to her at any time, especially when she asked me, do you believe in God? Do you believe in God who created you, who created the universe? So I just told her that I believe neither in God, man, devil, or angel. She got so frightened. How could a human being utter such words? So she asked this question over and over again. Who created you and the universe? That you don't believe in God. So then I would maybe like you to talk on this question of creation.
Well,
Do you-
let's go over what you discussed with her. It's fun. I prepare myself for situations because this, again, like anything in the world, you want to prepare yourself for what's going on in the world. Most people don't, especially today. They're just walking out of the house looking at their cell phone. Okay, it's probably Monday and they're probably making dinner arrangements for Friday. Okay, they're projecting their future constantly. And so, yeah, we'll talk about creation a little bit, but I'm asked that question once in a while too. I meet religious people, and it's interesting when religious people react as they do. Okay, this should be a good lesson, and that is that first of all, why would they be afraid if they're God believers? Even though you're to fear God is the idea, because that's what it says in the Bible. The idea is I've heard women say, I want a man that's a God-fearing man, etc. Again, this has become a cliche to where people don't understand that. It becomes subliminal to where you actually fear. And here's the idea. She's talking to you and she's afraid of you. Why, if she believed in her God, why would she be afraid of you? Okay, so, but the idea is when people ask the question, it's a basic question, okay? And that is that do you believe in God? And I'm ready for that. I have fun with that. And that is that, see, when you said what you said, it's like, I don't believe in this or that. See, all of a sudden to her, you have to see it from her viewpoint, not just yours. You're a non-believer. Okay. You're instantly, okay, comes up the cross within herself. You're the devil because you're a non-believer. Not to everybody, but a lot of people, they give and take, but to her, because how she reacted. But I always have fun with this. And when people say, do you believe in God? I say, I'm fine with everything. That's all. I'm ready for that answer. And then I wait to hear the response from them. And sometimes they'll say, what do you mean you're fine with everything? I just say, I'm fine with everything. Everything's okay. If that's your choice, that's fine. I'm fine with it too. You see? Because again, I'm not involved with deciding if I like or do not like their choice. And see, they don't realize, see, especially religious people that are rather fanatic about their ideas of things, they're expecting others to also believe. And they will pressure them, intimidate them, whatever, to, oh no, you must believe in God. Oh, you have to do this. You see? We don't do that. We just present it. We are aware enough to see that, no, we present it the best we can and have fun with it. But I'm always prepared for that. And see, as soon as you set up the idea, no, I don't believe in this or that or whatever, you named a bunch of things, which is fine. You created resistance. And so she took on that resistance and she utilized it to try and convince you, like a bat hitting you over the head, no, you must believe in God, who created you, and all this stuff. See, now you're going to get into an interesting discussion. Is that the discussion you want to get into? You see, so there's ways to move around this to where you don't get into the debating issue and it's left where there's funny feelings. But that's tricky too, especially if someone's very adamant. And Val would know this just from his confrontation with the college at Orange Coast College. And these people aren't even religious, but they're adamant about their rules. And it's the same thing. See, God fearing people, God followers, they're rule lovers. They're really emotional and mental rule lovers. They read the Bible. These are the rules of the game here on earth. We're to believe in God's and we're to do what God says. See, that's the rule book is what it is. And it's full of restrictions. It's nothing but restrictions. And so again, how do you work with this? Now, when you create resistance in any way, you'll have to deal with that resistance. But there's a way to make it workable and beneficial once you learn to pay attention and prepare yourself. So again, when James Bond goes out there on his missions, hey, he's just not walking in the dark, wondering, what am I going to do next? He's prepared for every moment, every situation that comes. He's been trained for this. And see, again, this is where in creation here, as we're here going through this process, most people join a spiritual path or religion and think that, oh, that'll take care of it all. I don't have to do anything, just do my daily life. And as things come up, and as they're going through this and that and lawsuits and tap lining and diseases and everything else, it's like, okay, where's God? Why isn't he fixing all this? And so again, there's a lot more to creation, isn't there? There's preparing. And this is the real education that we provide and the real guides provide on the real side. And to hear is to prepare people. That's why I write everything that I do, excuse me, is to get people to have the opportunity, in other words, give people the opportunity to prepare themselves and not just be numb and, naive to what's taking place in creation, because this is a dangerous place. Everything is totally dangerous, but people are walking around hold on a second. Call me back in an hour, Robert. People are walking around like, see, again, it's La La Land, like everything's okay. But, everything's poisoned, polluted. We got mind control microwaves are going into 5G. Fukushima's on. And it's like, hey, it's all okay. It's a great life. It's a great world. It's a sunny day. Yeah, so again, preparation for these situations, because most of the world is religious. And half the people or 3/4 of the people in some way, they're religious. I had a good friend, contractor, that I used to do jobs with. He was very religious, but at the same time, he had a great sense of humor. We used to joke around all the time. And he would ask me sometimes, you are always saying real. You're always talking about real. And I would define this for him. But he was very staunch in his religion, but he didn't really project that. And when I told him one time, he asked about God, the God thing, and I said, well, I'm fine with everything. But he's rather funny. He would always bug me. He'd say, you can't be fine with everything. Nobody can be fine with everything. Well, I said, I'm fine with everything. It's like whatever, but we would be kidding each other. But again, look at the situation you just went through. One of the things you really want to learn, if you really want to be more objective, is to learn to see it from their point of view, you see? Not just trying to get your viewpoint across. This is where the guides assist each other, because they have the total view. They see it from the individual side and what their position is, and they work it from that. They don't create resistance. So again, yes, thank you for sharing that. And again, you're in creation. You're going through this process. Again, all of creation is, you're here for one reason, one reason only, and that is to eventually recognize the true reality. Yes, in the meantime, you're going to school, you're playing, you're having your thrills, you got your job, you're buying your car, your house, you have all these desires, you want to go on vacation, all these things, okay, hang gliding, parachuting, whatever, okay, going to Disneyland, whatever. These are things happening in creation. But all of it is for one purpose, and you have to decide to see that and how you utilize that and bring that around as a benefit for yourself. But eventually you get past the me thing, like in the spiritual programs. It's like, well, when am I going to get enlightenment? When's my next initiation? The me thing. See, that's all elementary stuff. And the little traditional sayings and all these things and the cliches, it's all elementary. I don't do words of wisdom. I don't do these things. I make sense of what's going on here because it's about survival. When you're out there in the forest and the bears are running after you and someone's beside you and giving you words of wisdom, is that going to help? I don't think so. You better run faster. The thing is, you should have been prepared. The words of wisdom, they're not going to do it. And so, again, people live on these cliches. So that's what creation is. And for those that have the courage to step up and to recognize how to create a benefit out of creation that is a part of the real purpose that's presenting here, well, that's a whole lot who will do that. So again, Charles, yes, thank you for sharing. So now you get to deal with this person. So, that was step one, wasn't it?